Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Enjoy this Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Stacey and Company show. Stacey Ericson channels messages from your higher self and other realms. Connect with your own unicorn and dragon. Step into this magical realm now.
Hey everyone, I'm so happy to be here today. Got a lot to talk about. Some very interesting things happened to me this past week, and I wanted to share them with you this week because it's definitely been a little bit more of a, I want to say challenging, but just interesting week, a very interesting week. You know, things are with the energies of Earth and how she's creating for us, and we're helping her create more. And we're beginning this new manifestation of understanding how to manifest better with more clarity, more understanding that we are very much the creators of our own lives. And so today, I guess, well, I shouldn't say I guess, I should say that I definitely am going to talk about this because it came up for me today, especially. And it's super important that we talk about some things today that are related to us as humans here on Earth and our responsibilities of being. So happy to be here. Very excited. Thank you for joining me. I'm so happy. Like I said, I just love being here. And so the show is all about, you know, other realms, which we do have very active right now in our lives. A lot of realms are active. You know, those realms can be anybody from these, I've been seeing like a lot of tree people, you know, beings that are in the trees, in the woodlands, woodland folks, that type of thing. Fairies are very active right now. They're helping with everything as far as cleansing, clearing. They're doing a lot of work, and it's been a lot of fun. Actually, they've been very active here at my own home and talking with me quite a bit. So I'm sure that they are communicating with you as well. So let's talk about that real quick. So communicating with these beings, or any beings for that matter, including each other, you can communicate through telepathy. And telepathy is the universal language of our entire universe. So even on the other side, you know, if we transition, we're in spirit bodies, same thing, we still communicate telepathically. And that's how we also communicate with our angels and everything else that comes to us. As far as dreams even, you know, we're talking telepathically even in our dreams, which is really kind of cool to think about. So, so you're always practicing is what I'm saying, always. You know, it's a skill that we have all been born with. We were all born with a skill. We just lost it over time because we learned to speak and spell and, you know, use our words type of thing. So I feel like now, though, people are really starting to step back into, especially these new generations that are coming up behind us. It's so interesting how we are evolving as humans. And I'm really excited, like I said, to talk about, you know, everything today because of this type of thing. So I do have a student that I teach writing still, and she's amazing. I love her so much, and she's so cool. But anyway, so she's learning all about how to communicate with the animals, because my horse is not an easy horse to enjoy riding at any rate. And she's actually just so powerful and so keen and so beautiful. And she's got this like this majesty about her. She's very queen-like. Her name is Madonna. She's definitely a queen. And but anyway, so what she does is she influences us humans in a way that is very daunting at times, where you feel like, holy moly, this animal has like this so much energy, and it's so big, so powerful. And even when you're riding her, you know, she puts like a little like in your heart sometimes because you're worried that she's going to do something. Now, she has never done anything, and don't get me wrong, she does still bite, kick, and all that kind of stuff because she's a horse, but she doesn't, the the reason why I'm telling you this is because she doesn't accept other riders on a regular basis. So my student has been learning how to communicate with this horse, but not only through telepathy, but also through entrainment. So entrainment is feeling into the energy of what is there and learning how to have emotional balance with yourself. So that's another thing that we're going to talk about today is emotional intelligence. And what that is about, and horses really do teach us this, probably the easiest of animals to learn this from is a horse. So I do recommend, looking it up at any point in if you ever want to do like some sort of retreat or something like that to help you recognize some issues or things that you are going through in your life, especially nowadays, because a lot of stuff is coming up for us. And this is something that's really helpful for people and for animals and for the planet and for everything else, because you're clearing out this energy of, issues and challenges and problems that you've had in the past. And so the past is in the past, and that's where we're going today. We're going into the future. And so it's our responsibility to create for ourselves in the future. And how we can learn to create is through feeling into our emotions. So our emotions are huge. They're huge in our responses to everything in life. They're huge in our ideas and our ideals. Even, they help us formulate our morals as well. So it's all of these things that these emotions are bringing to the forefront for us. And like I've been telling a lot of people, my friends, especially lately, is that to really pay attention to your emotions. And it's not to control them. Don't control your emotions because they're there to help you. It's to assess or assimilate your emotions. And that's the biggest thing. And so we were talking earlier about judgment, and judgment comes up a lot with our emotions. We're judging ourselves quite a bit more lately than even before. And so this is something that, I really want to step into today with this whole thing. So getting back to the horses with emotional intelligence is really interesting. You can do it. It's called EFL, which is equine facilitated learning. And it's pretty amazing. And you can do it in several different ways. There's, Epona, there's also, I can't name it, Igala. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this and enjoy, this new way of learning about yourself and feeling into these emotions. Another place that you can go to too, and this is something else that I wanted to mention, is the dolphins. The dolphins are also masters at helping with this as well. So if you can, I think in North Florida, there's a place that you can do a retreat with dolphins, and it's the same thing. So my whole point of today is to get back to the natural world, get back to animals, get back to recognizing that there's more wisdom in the world than we can even possibly understand. I mean, it is way out there, way beyond us. And, just tapping into it, just a small smidgen of a little tiny bit is going to help us understand and assess and assimilate our lives, moving forward from this day forward, because things are changing constantly right now. And it's really cool. It's good stuff, but it's a little bit difficult at times to understand it. So that being said, Earth is being unearthed, and that is what's happening. So the realms are becoming more blended. Everything is time is folding on top of time. I mean, there's a lot of new information that's coming out that we never even knew existed, i.e. these beings that I was telling you about with these realms. I mean, it's incredible. The trees, there's these tree people that look like trees, and they walk around and they put crystals inside the hearts of these trees. And then what that does is that grids the Earth's energy, and all the trees are connected with these crystals. And it's really cool. If you've ever seen or read about Indra's web, it's sort of like that. It's like these, the areas of the web where it's faceted has these crystals, or in the story there, I think it's called pearls. And anyway, everything reflects each other. And so that's pretty much the message that I got today. So I went for a walk on the beach today, and we'll go ahead and put one of those pictures up if you can. And it was really interesting today because I really did not know what to talk about. And I was getting all kinds of information from everywhere. I can't even tell you, like everywhere. It was insane. And it was so much fun to like calm down and relax, because that's not something I can usually do. And so I was like, whatever comes to me is what we'll talk about on the show today. And it'll be so much fun. And oh, thank you, Dr. Love. I'm happy to see you today. Thank you. She said blessings. My maternal great-grandmother had to cross a bridge with horse and wagon. Horse refused to cross. Next day, 2 killed. Bridge collapsed. Oh, so the horse knew that the bridge was not safe. Now, see, that is so cool. Thank you for that story. I'm telling you, if we listen to our animals and really understand, that they do have more wisdom than we do at times, it's pretty amazing, and I'll get into that in a little bit later on, but it's just so, so, so cool. Thank you for that story. That's so neat that happened. And that, well, I mean, not that, there was anybody that got killed, but it's really amazing how that horse knew not to cross the bridge for your grandmother. So that's so cool. So anyway, so back to the story. So with the beach today, I was on the beach, like I said, and it's the first time I've been there in like 2 weeks. I haven't really been walking very much on it. And I thought, man, I really need to get back to this because it's important, to really blend with that natural world of water. I've been actually trying to sit with the trees a lot lately and feel into the energy of the earth. And it's been really cool, actually. It's been a lot of fun. But so anyway, so today I got to walk on the beach and it was an absolutely gorgeous day, gorgeous. And it showed me some things that I had already been thinking about. So as we move forward, we'll put those pictures up of the beach today because there's actually some really neat, beautiful colors that are in the water. And as we move forward talking about today and everything that I want to talk about, we will look at the colors. So anyway, so I've been having these really strange dreams too. And I'm sure that all of you have, because right now there's so much information that's coming in. And I've been talking to my friends and they're all like, wow, this is really, see that beach today? Oh my gosh, look at the water. Isn't that just gorgeous? Today it was like so flat. It's cold. It's very cold, but it is just the most beautiful colors that you can imagine. I mean, just this gorgeous aquamarine colors. So we can show the second picture too. Of course, my thumb is in the next picture, but isn't that just gorgeous today here in Florida? I live in a beautiful, beautiful area and I love it. So anyway, so that's the color. I just want you to remember that color because we'll be talking about the aquamarine here in the future in just a little bit because it's part of the story of today. But I wanted to just sort of show everybody this picture because I just thought it was so amazing with the clouds and, like I said, the beach and then the water, the colors are just so gorgeous. So everything is really healing. The water is healing, which is really nice. And it's helping us heal as well. So it's really fantastic, especially down here where I live. And so anyway, hi, Super Space Cookie. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so getting back to this. So this year or this week, I've been talking to a lot of my friends and a lot of my friends have been going through some things and it's, just small challenges like wondering, why are we here? Like they're asking bigger questions, why are we here? Am I in the right place? And then they're starting to refrain and look back on their lives and really have some regrets and all this other kind of stuff, which is then in turn making them a little sick. And so all these things are coming up for them and it's really been challenging for them this week. And so they keep asking me, what is going on? So I thought that I could bring my story forward to try to help everyone, with this challenging time that we're going through at this moment. So with this whole thing, Earth is being unearthed, as I said before. And so all of these new revelations and new things are coming up. So it's confusing us is what's happening. So we're getting a little bit confused and a little bit out of whack because it's not the same. Nothing is the same. And so we're having to start to, assimilate what's going on. Hi, Linnell. Thanks for joining me. Assimilate what is happening in our lives and recognize, how we fit into this huge Indra's web, this puzzle. And it's so cool if you think of it more from those, that perspective. And the whole thing with this is that I really want to have everybody recognize that spirit is with you all the time. So you can call him God, you can call him source, call him spirit. I grew up Catholic, so it's God to me. But anyway, and so the whole thing is that we are always being guided, always. And just recently, a friend of mine, it's so funny, because everything happens for a reason. I was thinking to myself, I was like, how do I explain, how we get help? And all of a sudden, a friend of mine gave me a little tiny book, and it's all about the angels and the angels coming in and helping us. There's like thousands, probably even more angels out there, that she said in the book, it was kind of funny, that are unemployed. And so she said that we need to start employing our angels, which I thought was so much fun. But anyway, so you can put together teams. Oh, that's so cute. She said, Linnell says, again, Tiffany and Jeremy, I heard you then and now. So anyway, so we put together these teams, and it was so interesting how we can put together these teams of angels to help us with everything. But in the meantime, though, we also have, God or source or spirit that is there for us all the time to access information from. The world or the universe, like I said to you before, I had a pony that he was like sitting in the field and meditating, and he said that he was connecting into the universal mind. And the universal mind has all the wisdom in the world. So any question that you have, you can get the answer to, like very simply, very easily, even though we don't feel like it. And the thing is, and this is what I'm learning, is that the answer is not always the answer that we want or that we think we should get. And so therefore, it doesn't feel correct. But if you write it down, then the next day you read it, you can realize that, yes, that answer was the right answer, and that it does fit into like whatever is happening now or did happen or what you should be looking forward to in the future. So it's really interesting how, our mind works, and how, the universal mind works, and how we can receive all this information if we really want to. And as we move forward, we want to start looking at our lives, and what's happening within our lives. And so this is what I was explaining to my friends. I said, so this is what happened to me this week. And it's really, really kind of fun. Now, I had a million dreams this week, and I had all kinds of stuff. But the one dream I had last night is the one that I'm going to talk about today. So I had a dream about the manatees. And the manatees are here in Florida. They're these big, beautiful beings. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for joining me. So big, beautiful beings that swim very slowly. They call them calves. They call them fat mermaids. They call them all kinds of stuff down here, and they really are so cute. And they're so friendly, and they actually like to hug, which is so neat because I love them for that. And so anyway, so manatees. So I had the manatee dream, and in the dream, I was swimming with the manatees, and a lot of people actually were jumping into the water to get with them. And there was I don't even know, there was a plethora of them. I didn't even know how many there were because it just felt like they were just full. And it was really wild because they're actually swimming kind of fast in some places. So I'm not sure what this all means, but I just thought I'd, let you know what the dream was about. So anyway, so what you can do is whenever you have dreams, you can look up the meaning of the dream if you want to. And then once again, write it down. Always write things down. I've been so adamant about everybody writing everything down, because when you do write it down, once again, you can go back and, re-examine what it is that's there. And then you can assess or assimilate it into your own sense of being. So this manatee dream, it says, manatee dreams urge you to become less passive about a situation in your life. You also need to have more ambition and drive if you want something significant to happen. And if you're swimming with them, it means you are gifted with a warm and caring personality, and you use these traits to touch the lives of the people around you. It can also mean a time for rest and relaxation. It's a reminder to be kinder to yourself and not to push yourself too hard. And then it says, now normally manatee is not in dreams, but they're, if you just see them, manatee teaches, go at your own pace, trust people and be open to them, look through your emotions. You have the desire to do good in your life and keep things simple. So it's really fun to look up, these symbols that are being sent to us to help us, assess or assimilate what's going on in our lives at this moment in time. And so this was just a manatee dream that I had last night, and I just found that to be fascinating because as it goes along, this whole thing is going to tell a story about what is happening with me in my life. And that's what's going to happen to you. If you really start to recognize and understand that all these signs and symbols are being sent to you, you are getting answers at every moment of every single day. It's just whether or not you're recognizing that it's there. And so, so then yesterday I was out in the yard and my backyard. And this osprey made itself so clear. Now, it wasn't really talking to me because I was actually talking to a tree. But the osprey came down and it was like really low, which is unusual. And an osprey is a bird that's here in Florida. It's a water bird. So anyway, so it was really low, and then it kept coming back around a bunch of times. And so it was very clear that it wanted me to recognize or notice that it was there. So I said, well, what is your message? And it said, look it up. So I did. I went inside and I looked it up. So osprey is connected to Hermes or Mercury, and it's swift in flight and sure in its path. It's a powerful symbol of heavenly forces. Now, they are linked to communication and divine inspiration. It also can mean that there is an important message coming. It is associated with the alchemy of fire, the symbol of strength and intensity of the sun. Its power and majesty make it an important symbol in esoteric and spiritual activities. It is associated with transformative and transmutative functions and is a symbol of strength and power. So I thought, wow, that's a really cool message. Now, the whole thing is that once you get all of these messages, it can get a little bit confusing, because as you're reading about osprey, it might come up that on your phone, like what you want to do is look up spirit animal meaning, osprey, spirit animal meaning, or, or totem animal meaning, whatever it is that you want to look up or whatever comes to you. And for me, because I trust spirit, I just, always go to the very first one that's there. But a lot of my friends will go to like somebody that they recognize and they know and feel, that they read all the time. But like I said, for me, I always think that the message that I'm supposed to receive is the very first one. So I try to, honor that idea, basically. And so anyway, so this is what came up for me. And I thought that was so interesting. And I'm so grateful for that. So when you are out and about in your everyday activities, first you wake up, you have a dream. Then after that, you receive a message from an animal. Now, the reason why I'm telling you about osprey is because while I was walking at the beach, the osprey actually there flew over my head very low again and said, good morning. And so, so I knew to look her up again, look up osprey again, and to make sure that I received the information that, was coming in. So whenever you have animals that are, how you can tell if you, want to look them up, or if there's a message there for you from them, they'll usually act in like an unusual way, or they'll do something to get your attention. Like I said, like yesterday, the osprey was, flying around really low and just acting a little bit odd, not in a sense of like where it was distressed or anything, but just to where it was like, hey, pay attention. I need you to receive this message. And so, so as you're moving along, through your daily activities, something might pop up, or it just might be that there's something there like a spider in your house and it's not normal. And you're trying to get it out of your house. And so, look up spirit animal spider. Spiders are amazing and have such a beautiful message for us in reality. So it's so cool. So anyway, so as you're moving forward, then the other thing is today, after I got done at the beach, I went to the grocery store. Now, on the way to the grocery store, there was a car in front of me with a license plate, and it said 66. So I know 66 is a great number. Now, it's the opposite of what we think. Actually, 66 and 666 and 6 period is all about family and love, which is really fun, to know that that is what it means. And so, so don't be afraid of the sixes. They're actually really great. So anyway, so on the way, I was behind this car and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I saw that number. And then, so I'm driving along and then all of a sudden we're at a stop light, I should say. And over there, another 66. So I said, I wonder if I'm supposed to look this up. So then I pull into the parking lot, another 66. And then on the way home from the grocery store, I saw 66 again. So I was like, all right, fine. I got the message. I'm definitely going to look up the number 66. So this is what it means. It means it carries a message from your angels about abundance, optimism, and creativity. It's a powerful number about love and healing. Through this number, your angels are telling you to have faith in divine source and trust that the conditions that you have been seeking to manifest are on the way. Love, faith, and healing are highlighted at this time. 66 resonates with a higher frequency of unconditional love, faith, healing. The vibration of 66 is therefore calming and restorative. The angels may send this number to you at stressful times when you need help, support, guidance, or inspiration. So I just thought that was so cool because I actually needed inspiration for today's show. So it helped me a ton with, thinking about this. And also love is a big theme for me in my life. It's very big. So cool that number came to me. Now, as you're reading about these numbers and about these signs that are showing up in your life all day long or all week long, and in fact, some of this actually came up, during the entire week and a couple weeks back. And so as these signs and symbols and all of these things are showing up in your life, it's putting together the picture of what you're going through if you haven't already figured it out. And so it's really nice, to assess and assimilate what is actually happening with you inside emotionally, because your heart source is actually your second brain. And this actually thinks better than your actual brain. Your actual brain doesn't think quite as well because the fact that it kind of takes in things it doesn't really need. But your heart, and all of your emotions do not do that. And so it's really interesting. They're more true to you in being. So it's really cool as long as your head doesn't guide your heart. So the other thing that came up, and it was really interesting for me today, was that I have a roommate and she and I are really good friends and, very, very connected. And so she says, today I was telling her about the show and that, I was thinking about painting my bedroom an aquamarine color because right now it's just sort of like a tan color. It's sort of boring, which is so not me. So I was thinking about the aquamarine color because I was at the beach today. And I guess if you want to, we can put the pictures back up because it looks like everybody might be here now. I'm not sure if they saw it earlier, but I was at the beach today walking, trying to get inspiration for the show today. And so I was telling her, all about this aquamarine color. And I was like, wow, this is such a beautiful color. And it'd be so inspirational to get this color, and put it in my bedroom. And she was funny because she's moving back into her place pretty soon. And she said the same thing. She said, oh my gosh, I was thinking the same thing. So my point to you is that it's really interesting how we are one and how we really do reflect each other and how we think the same and how we are the same, and who's ever in our lives feels the same way sometimes, so it's so much fun to recognize that we really are one, and that we do help each other in a lot of great ways because of that. So thank you, Super Cookie, for that super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I just thought it was so interesting that she had this, really cool idea for herself. And she was telling me how, she actually dreamt about this color and that she was, thinking of painting her room. And then I guess there was like a dark aquamarine cover for her bed. And anyway, she was just telling me the whole story and it was just so interesting and so much fun. So I thought I would look up what aquamarine means and the color, just for my own sake and to see what it was that's evoking these emotions in me, towards this color. And so the meaning is associated with healing. It is known to heal the emotion that will result to stability and balance. However, during the process, the person will experience a roller coaster of emotion before the steadiness will be achieved. The shade refers to the ocean, and some meanings for it are a color that recharges your spirit. It helps you feel invigorated and calm, actually, for your spirit. It promotes development of your management and organizational skills, which I do need, by the way. This color supports concentration, clear thought for those that speak in front of people. How interesting is that, right? I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. It's so much fun. It promotes sensitivity, creativity. It's a healing color that helps with physical, emotional healing, and it also helps empower the spirit, allowing for spiritual healing as well. So it's a really cool color, this aquamarine. Now, the aquamarine I'm talking about really is the ocean water aquamarine. It's not just aqua, but it's aquamarine, meaning that it has more of the greens in it. So it's really, really beautiful. And maybe a little silver too, because I love sparkles. So we'll have to see when I paint my room how that's going to play out. But in the meantime, though, it was so interesting because just reading about the color helps me really figure out that I loved that. Oh my gosh, that unicorn is aquamarine on Super Cookies comments. That is so cute. I love it. And also, I do have to tell you this too, and this is kind of fun. Fun fact. You all know I can see things. And so Earth right now, because originally Earth was, her core or her heart, of who she is, was covered up. It was like covered up with, stone and rock and things like that, and now, oh my gosh, it's so cool. She's actually turned into this beautiful crystal. And so this crystal actually is that color. That's the color I see that Earth's heart is right now, is that this beautiful crystal that's within the center of Earth is this aquamarine color. It's actually a color I can't even describe. It's very, very light. It's almost pastel-y. It's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And anyway, and she's emanating that out to all of us to help heal us and calm us and all of that stuff too. So that's really kind of interesting as well. I just put that together. How cool is that, right? So anyway, so Earth's colors are aquamarine as well. That's really fun, and what those tree people are putting, these crystals that are in the trees, these tree people, the colors that I see are aquamarine, that color, and this like cobalt blue, it's beautiful blue, and then the white crystal quartz, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And those are the three colors that I see them placing. Oh, and emerald, they just said. A few of them have emerald green as well. So it's just beautiful. I mean, all these different colors that are coming in for us, as far as these calm, cooling colors for us. It's really, really interesting. So another part of this is that there was, I think it was about, I don't know, it's last week or the week before. And I was laying in bed and I was like, wow, this is crazy. But, something told me to get up and go get 2 rose quartz crystals and hold them in each hand and fall asleep with these crystals. Well, I worry about that because I'm like rolling all over the place and I have my dog in my bed with me all the time. And so I didn't want her to eat one. And so I held on to him right before I fell asleep and then I shoved him under my pillow. But anyway, what it did was so interesting because it was telling me, because what I've been really focusing on is, unconditional love. I've been really trying to understand unconditional love for the world, because that's what we're trying to create here for all of us is unconditional love, and have heaven on earth. And so I'm really, like I said, I'm really just trying to understand it more and more, in this body. Of course, we are already there on the other side, but we came to earth to experience, life in this way of being. And so here we are, and that's what's happening with us, and things are changing, and it's, it's fabulous because it's going in the right direction. Although I know it doesn't feel like it at times, but in reality, if you listen to like what I'm saying today, all of these keys and codes are going to help you, remember that you are important and that this, there are answers and everything is there right before your eyes and you are creating your own reality. So for me, the big deal is unconditional love. It's been that my whole life, especially with the animals and everything and nature and whatnot. So these rose quartz, it was so cool. I put them in my hands and I was like, holy moly, because I've not been in my past, I've not been that connected to quartz or to rose quartz or to any kind of stones for that matter. I could feel a little vibration, but some people, they get like where they really can feel the vibration of these crystals. But I have to tell you, since we're moving into this new era, it has actually activated these stones even more. So Earth herself being this beautiful aquamarine crystal, and actually it's going to turn to white eventually. She is actually activating all the crystals on Earth. So your crystals that are in your home right now are being reactivated, and they're 10 times, 100 times, thousands of times stronger than they've ever been before, because they're actually connecting to everything. They're going into, like I said to you, the Indra's web, where everything is connected. We are one. And the more that we become one, the stronger we can be. And then therefore we can create this beautiful earth that we also desire, and this beautiful life that we desire on earth. So this is what's bringing forth, this beautiful, hopefully, this beautiful unconditional love. And when I was holding these crystals, I could actually feel it. So I encourage everybody to try this because it's really fun. And what they'll do is they'll heat up in your hands. Like that's what I found, is that they get pretty warm, and it's really, really cool. And then you can take like one crystal and put it in your other hand to see how warm it actually got. So it's really interesting how your energy, blends with these crystals as well. And so it's just, so amazing. So anyway, so the crystals I wanted to read about are the rose quartz crystals that we just were talking about. And so I wanted to look them up to see what they meant. So they emit loving goddess energy, and they're known as the love stone. They emit strong vibrations of unconditional love, joy, and warmth, and emotional healing. A powerful crystal to help heal relationship problems. They embody a melodious and gentle energy, aiding you to become truly loving and live life from your heart. They keep, hang on a second. So keep a piece of this stone nearby and your life will improve for the better. Now I encourage everybody to do this because it is such a lovely stone to have, and it will work for all and every one, it'll help you remember where you came from, because you remember that you are unconditional love on the other side. That's all there is on the other side is unconditional love. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it really is. All the plants, all the animals, all of us are all unconditional love. So it just helps us remember to get back to who we are, our core being, our spirit side, So this crystal resonates out its loving energy into the surroundings to help all those who are nearby. Isn't that cool? And the stone resonates with the heart chakra and the higher heart chakra, or the thymus chakra, which is the area related to compassion. So it is a stone that really does help you with this unconditional love. Now get this, I thought this was really cool too. I read this somewhere after this, and somebody said that they had put, oh my gosh, Super Cookie says she just wore, oh, that's so funny. So Super Space Cookie says, I noticed yesterday when I wore my amethyst, it felt more powerful. I know, isn't it amazing? Like so cool, right? And then she said, also my rose quartz, I wore both yesterday. I know. And I got to tell you, those two together is like just even more of a powerful, and we'll talk about what do we say? No, that's amethyst. We'll talk about that more in the future, because I'm telling you, quartz all these crystals have been they've really been talking to me about, being talked about more often. But anyway, so I thought this was so interesting though. Say you have a neighbor or something that's undesirable, that's outside of your house anywhere. What you can do is put a quartz, the rose quartz, in, either the corner of the room or wherever it is that's closest to the undesirable area of your home. So if you have a neighbor that is loud or isn't quite so friendly, you could put a rose quartz on that side of your house, and it helps calm the energy, because remember, all of these crystals, they emanate out into the world, this beautiful energy. And so it'll help you and it'll help them. So I thought that was so cool. That was just so neat. Right there, just lets you know that we have so much magic around us. We just have to tap in and remember that it's there, right? So yes, this is magical stuff that we're talking about right now. It's so cool. All right, so anyway, so moving forward, one of my students, the student that I told you about, she had a birthday. And it was so interesting because she's turning 16. And my horse is really excited about that, by the way, because then she'll be able to see her more often now. It's so cool. So anyway, so she's turned 16, and we went to, a friend of mine and I went to one of these metaphysical stores, just to see if we could find some really cool cards. Now, I have to tell you, I found these cards for her birthday that were so neat. They're Pegasus cards, and they're the best cards I've ever seen. Like, I've seen like the unicorn cards, and they're okay, they're kind of fun, but they're not. These Pegasus cards, oh my gosh, they were amazing. I mean, truly, truly amazing. I'll have to take a picture of them and put them on the show so everybody can go buy a set, because the messages that were in the cards were so precise and just really profound and very, very, on point. It was pretty cool. Really, really cool to, it's funny, I'm saying cool a lot today. Sorry about that. So just amazing. It was awesome. So I really love these cards. But anyway, while I was there, I was, sort of intuitively asking, if I should get a stone for myself or if I should get something. And it was funny because I actually got a amethyst for myself while I was there. And also I got these incense, which is really interesting because I don't always burn incense. I'm not like a big incense burner, but I do, burn incense here and there to clear spaces. And, I do like the smell of them periodically, not every day. And so anyway, so the incense that came to me to buy was myrrh, which I thought was so cool. And then another one was white sage with lavender, which I thought was really nice too, which I think I burned that just before the show. So anyway, so the white sage with lavender brings positive energy, and it opens the heart chakra, calms the mind, releases fear, and soothes the nervous system. And then lavender has powers of protection, calming, and cleansing. So it's really interesting how, we desire, or we crave, or we would, or we feel the need to present or to have these beautiful, magical, things close to us to help us get through our lives. And I just love it. I love that it's magic. It's Earth's magic. And that's how I look at it. So it's so cool. Then, then the myrrh is its metaphysical meaning. It represents eternity of the spirit. It's an emblem of resurrection, an ointment of love. It boosts the spirit, the soul, and is it's often used to alleviate the symptoms of nervous system disorders. It can also help heal coughs and colds, insomnia, pain relief, and stimulation of and it'll also help with stimulation of the immune system. So actually, this is a great, incense to burn right now, especially with what we're going through, with COVID and all that other stuff. So it seems to me like that this is a good one to have, which is just funny. Like I said, I just picked it up intuitively. It can also be used in magic. You can purify sacred spaces with it. It can help break hexes and curses and protect against magical and psychic attacks. I thought that was cool too, right? It's always fun. And then it also can be used for stress to help calm and relax your nerves. So obviously I've got this nerve thing going on in my whole theme today. But anyway, so it's really interesting how, this also is one of those beautiful, beautiful, magical, things that we can use to help ourselves, live through an easier life and have our times be much more sensible and more relaxing and more understanding and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's amazing, all the magic that is truly in the world. And if we just listen to ourselves, our cravings, we get food cravings too, right? I mean, I know a lot of people do. There's people that, get food cravings for meat sometimes, and then some just for certain kinds of fruits and vegetables, or chocolate. Chocolate's a big one. So it's really interesting, that we also get cravings for other things as well, something to soothe us, something to help us be, feel safe, feel calmer, feel more relaxed. Whatever it is that's there, you get a craving for it. And if you just ask what it is that I need, right there, it'll show up right in front of you, just like the myrrh, and then the white sage and lavender showed up right in front of me too. And of course, there's like I can't even tell you how many different types of incense there are, which I'm learning about still. And very interesting. Like, honestly, it's very, very interesting. Some of the smells, I don't know. It's not for me for sure, not all of them, but these definitely I love. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention, and this is so cool because it also has lavender in it too, is the essential oils. Now, essential oils are something that I really believe in. They've helped a lot of animals even. But you do have to be careful though, because people do poison their animals with essential oils, just not knowing it, that it attacks their nervous systems and things like that, just like us, by the way. So you do want to be careful before you, have what, I forget what it's called, when you put them in this little machine and it sends out smoke. So don't do that, unless you know that your animal can accept it. But what I do is, just because I don't use those, diffuser, that's what they are. I don't use diffusers, because I just don't. So what I do is I just put little droplets in some water and then I spray it around the house. And the one thing that I absolutely love is the lavender and geranium mixture. I have to tell you, I mean, if you love lavender and geranium together, you will love this mixture. It is so cool. And what it is that it's like it clears out, the positive ions and helps with the negative ions, bringing in like a mood lifting, feeling. It is the neatest thing. I can't even tell you. I mean, my former husband used to love it. Every time I spray the house, all my friends love it because they're always like, oh my gosh, what did you do? And they get all excited about it because it's just that type of scent that really does lift your mood. It's so neat. And then the lavender is for calming and then rebalancing your system. So between the two of those, I've found that I absolutely, tell everybody about this because if you have, especially after the winter, if you're up north and stuff like that, it's really nice to like spray this around your house because, and in corners and in closets, all of that stuff to clear the energy. And it really helps, like I said, to lift the mood of the room as well. So it's really, really, really fun to do this. So lavender and geranium, that's like my key thing that I absolutely love. So, and I tell everybody about it. So there you go. So you can see how, writing down all of these different, I want to say magical because they are, right? Because I mean, a dream is magic. To me, it's all magic. Seeing the osprey was magical and all the numbers were magical, but just recognizing the symbols and signs that are being presented to me for my life at this time with all the questions that I have and also questions that I didn't know I had are being answered for the future as well. And it's so interesting because as time goes on, if you hold on to this whole thing, you can look at this again in a week and be like, wow, there's more, or even observe more and ask more and keep writing. And then, you can go back and keep looking at it. And then eventually you'll just keep getting more and more and more and more answers. And it's really fun and interesting, because Spirit really does give us symbols and signs and all kinds of help. We just have to ask. And so I'm so excited that I got to tell you all about this today. Thought that it was so interesting and a lot of fun for all of you to recognize and know that we are not alone, for one thing, that we all are one, and that includes these animals. I mean, think about it. That osprey came in, and just to give me messages. I mean, how sweet is that, right? That means that I'm connected to the osprey is connected to me, the osprey is connected to spirit, I'm connected to spirit. So here we are, we're blending all of those, energy. And it's just fascinating. I mean, truly fascinating how all of this really does work. And if you lay in bed, like I do it in bed just because it's the only time I ever really chill and relax. But, if you lay in bed and you just think to yourself, what about this expansive place that we live in? I mean, to expand, to really reach out and stretch, stretch your imagination. Like I have to tell you, I was in North Carolina and taking this class on, the EFL, the Equine Facility Learning. And it was the neatest thing. And I was like learning about expansion there. And it was so cool. It's such a great place to learn. But anyway, so I was laying in bed again, and it was in the morning actually. And I was thinking about expansion and how there's, how we're all one and how there's this huge, because the horses were telling me this. And so it was all so interesting. And I was like, wow, I've never thought of it like this before. It's so interesting. And so anyway, while I was laying there, my little dog came from my home in Florida to visit me because all of a sudden she just popped in. Now it was funny because I have to tell you, she's a little bit, demented, just a little bit. She's not here anymore, but she came in and she was a dog that they had, seriously had some issues, some mental issues. And but such a cool little dog. She was a corgi. So anyway, so she came to me, and when she did, it was just her top half of her body, and she was asking me to rub her belly. It was so cool. It was the neatest thing ever. I have to tell you, you can do this. That's what makes the world so much fun. You can have expansion and be anywhere, anytime, at anywhere you want, at any time you want, and enjoy anything that you want. So let's go over that. So you can be anything you want. You can have anything you want. You can experience anything you want. You can create anything you want. You can it's basically anything you want, so you can do anything you want. All of these things, we have to remember, we are such amazing creative beings. And so when we get in the dumps down and out, and all worried about life and whatnot, and what's happening now in the world and all this stuff, start creating your own life, your own idea on life and expand that out. So then that way, all of us can enjoy life and have a good time with our lives instead of worrying and having fear and, constant trepidation and all this other stuff, that's not good. We want to bring only good to the world. That's another thing, speaking of which, I've really been asking a lot lately about, my purpose. Like, why am I here? It's kind of interesting because I used to think it was to go to the Olympics, but I guess not because I didn't go. But the whole thing is that I was asking and I've been asking and I keep asking, just like everybody, because we're all in the same boat. And so I got this dream and it was so interesting. This dream was really, really neat. And it's all about love once again. So I guess I'm about love, which I like that a lot because that feels good to me. But anyway, so in this dream, this guy came to me and he said that in order to be able to have this unconditional love in the world and to be able to emanate it out, we have to love ourselves first. So this is a big thing, so this is something that I really want to start working on, even making like some sort of manual or something, how to love yourself, complete manual, but very simplistic because, we're busy. We're still trying to figure stuff out. It's not easy to stay focused the whole time. You shouldn't have to say all these mantras like 10 times every day, 50 times a day, because that's just distracting. So there's like a lot of the ways that we can do this differently. And I feel like this is part of it. I feel like just recognizing and noticing and asking questions is part of this whole process of living on earth peacefully with love in our hearts, feeling like we belong here. Oh, and that's the other thing is I got as well is that where you are, even though you don't feel like you're not in the right place, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So that's the other thing is acceptance of self. Don't be judging yourself and saying, well, I should have, could have, would have, because you didn't. And that's not your purpose anyway. So the whole thing is to move forward with grace and ease, beauty and grace as well, and love in your heart. And so this is huge for me right now. These two, I had another dream also about the same thing that I'm just saying to you just now. Somebody came to me and said, and also we have this information for you as well. So not sure who it was. It wasn't an angel, but it really was a person. It was kind of interesting, a little short guy, but it was fun dream, really neat dream to have. But these are the things, that we want to take into consideration for our future, to be kind to ourselves, to love ourselves, and to start recognizing that spirit is everywhere and that we do have, everything is right here at our disposal. I just gave you tons of symbols and tons of, different ways that we get spoken to on a daily basis. It's every single day we're being spoken to or being talked to or being helped. We're being, relieved of things. We're also being told things, we're learning things, all this stuff is coming for us and it's amazing. And you can have a lot of fun with life if you just start looking around and recognizing all of this, it's more joyful. Even if you're going through, a heartache, breakup, all of that kind of stuff, you can still enjoy your life and really enjoy the experience through it because everything happens for a reason and it's a gift. All of our challenges are gifts because that helps us, expand. It really does. It helps us expand by learning about new things, even understanding challenges are there to help us expand. And so that's the biggest thing is to know that it's a gift, and who knows in the future, you might be helping somebody else with that same challenge that you had, you had the challenge with. And in turn, then you're able to be more compassionate, more understanding, and have maybe a better solution where they could work through it much faster. It's all of that. We're helping each other because we're all here together, to help each other. We are all one. And that includes the animals, like I said, all these animals are here to help us as well. So interesting. My dog, she's so funny. I just love her so much. She is probably one of the happiest dogs I've ever met, like honestly. And I have no idea why. It's not like she's that spoiled, but I feel like maybe she is. But she's just so cool. She loves everybody. And the more people that she meets, she gets more excited about it. And they're all like, oh my gosh, she's so happy. But that's her purpose, is to be, the happy dog in daylight time, but the protector at night. And so it's really, really neat how we have these, our pets, our animals, to like help us remember that there's two sides as well to things, and to help us recognize that there are challenges at times too. Cause like sometimes she's up at night barking because she's, going after the raccoons that are outside, playing or arguing. And so then, she gets in trouble for that, but she's just protecting me. And so this is my point, is that, all of these different things that we experience in life has a reason or a purpose behind it for us to learn how to do it. So now I have, an idea of how to keep her quiet, because I've experienced it. So it's really, really nice. I just love it. And then also the other thing is that my horse, same thing. The other day, there was a vet that came and worked on her. Dr. Lauren Love says, we are better people because of our connections to all living beings. And you are absolutely right. Exactly. And the more connected that we are, the more we can understand and really expand once again and feel into Earth's vibration and really help create this unconditional love and get back to who we are, and remember that that's what we are inside. Every single one of us is all about that. And the animals really do help reflect that back to us. And so that's why it's so much fun to have animals in your life. So definitely, even if you don't have a pet at your home, it's okay. Just enjoy the animals that are out there. Maybe go, we actually have an elephant preserve here, which is so cool. I have not made it there yet. They've been full, but I would really like to go and visit with them. There's all these places that you can do all kinds of stuff, all kinds of cool stuff that's out there, to help animals. And then in turn, that also helps you and your heart. So anyway, so that's all I have for today. I feel like I've been talking and talking and talking and talking. Oh, thank you, Dr. Love. She said, well said, Stacey. Thank you so much. So next week, I guess we'll see who's going to show up next week for us, because this week it was all about this. And as usual, I am so honored to be here and to help, bring forward these messages to all of you. And I'm just so grateful. I'm definitely just so grateful to be able to be here, especially today, and as well as in the future and in the past. And this show is sponsored by the ICU, Dr. Lauren Love, and ICU nurses, technicians, and staff in the Boston area hospitals. By the way, they are sending out all this light. Every time I look at Boston and that whole area, it just emanates this beautiful gold light over the entire city. I mean, it's just amazing. That city has changed and shifted quite a bit. Oh, and the buildings talk a lot, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but buildings do talk. And those are some old buildings, especially the brick ones. So it'd be really neat to visit there. Anyway, so thank you again. Really appreciate all of you. And I will see you next week. Same time, same place. Have a great week. Talk to you then. Bye.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.